What is up, guys? What is up? I hope everybody is doing great and having a wonderful Tuesday. I decided I'd pop on here for a little live stream, and I hope my video is not too dark. It looks pretty dark, but we'll make do. So let's give a couple of shout outs here real quick. We got Digging Daryl in the house. We got Chris, Michael Coley, TN Sharpshooter, Ben Bach, Savannah Harps, Digging Daryl. We've got Alabama Digger in here. We've got a few of you, so we're gonna hang out. I know this is sort of a last minute type stream, but Can You Dig It's in here. Glad to have you on here. And so we are going to be talking. What's up, Lance? We are going to be talking about the version 1.0 update. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm tell you a little bit about what's going on as far as what I'm seeing. I want to know what you guys are seeing. So we're going to look at that as well, and then we're going to look at what we can expect in the weeks coming forward. Good afternoon or good evening, Detector 2 Guns. Glad to have you in here. Wisco Detect, naturally. Ben Bog, got a couple of people. Jeremy Duty, Ohio Fred. Glad to have all you guys in here. Relics and Rings. We got a pretty nice little crowd showing up. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't know a lot right now at this point, other than I've used this version, and it just, to me, it just wasn't performing the way that I was really hoping that it would. And I know we were all excited about it. And some people, we're seeing a lot of mixed reports. We're seeing some people that are having no problem with it. I've seen people that are, complaining about it. I've seen all sorts of things. And I really wanted to know, what some of you guys were actually seeing as well. What's up, Rob? The History Digger's in the house. High Tones, good to have you in here. Get That Treasure, glad to have you in here. So I'm gonna let you guys talk for a few minutes, and I'm just gonna read off some of the comments and some of the things that you guys are seeing, because that's what I really want to know, because that's very valuable to all of us. Digging Daryl says version 1.0 seems to be working good with his 11x13 coil, but it is struggling with the 9-inch coil. So that's interesting. Joshua Sipes says, I'm digging the modern screws and other small similar items at a really nice clean tone, even after cranking up the silencer, and the depth is like a Garrett machine. Oh Lord, no, that's not good. That's not good at all, Josh. And by the way, I got my package from you yesterday, so thank you very much, and I will get that up real soon. Hey, Gary Park, glad to have you in here. Metal Detecting with the CZ Kid. Glad to have you in here. I know I'm missing people, and I apologize if I am. Wisco Detect says, I've never dug so many square nails, rusty nails, stainless steel nails, small iron. It was unbearable. So, yeah, and we're gonna talk about this. I just want to see what you guys are seeing as well. I wonder if the different versions of one were loaded on different servers by mistake, so people are getting different results. Who knows? That's one that I cannot answer. And Sharpshooter's on here, but I don't even know if he can answer that question at this point. Relics and Rings says, let me go back up here. He says, I've only used it with the 11-inch coil, but so far he likes it. Good. And again, some people are really liking this version. And, but there are some people like what we're seeing that are saying some other things. Chris says, I updated my Deus II with 1.0. I haven't had the chance to get out, so I hope to see what everyone is experiencing. And again, that's why I'm sort of doing this tonight, just so people can see what's going on across the board. Daniel Shields says, I switched back to version 7.1 today, hunted farm fields in MI yesterday with the heavy iron and spent too much time digging nails. Done. Okay, Daniel. Well, you're not the only one, so we're going to talk about it. Joshua Sipe says, audio response is crazy different, and irony volume doesn't seem to make any actual change in the volume. Okay. Metal detecting with CZ Kid. I can hear the iron and my nail count is down. I'm getting deeper coins in the iron. Great, CZ Kid. Well, that's good to hear. And he says, I do like version 1. Good. Steve Fenner, excuse me, said my pinpointing seems to be off. Okay. Lance says they must not have any iron sights at the XP. Oh, Lance, I don't know. I wish I had an answer or solution for any of these things. So, but yeah, it does seem that way. Michael says, hey, I'm back to running 0.71 until a fix is released. Get That Treasure says, I think a lot of issues appear present depending on where you were hunting as well. Probably wouldn't be bad if it was a low trash area. And I think you're right, Get That Treasure. I'm glad to do a show, Chris. I debated on if I was going to do one or not, but with everything that I've seen that people have been saying, I definitely just wanted to get out there and sort of talk about it and try to help people as much as I could. Sharpshooter's on here. He's saying, to my knowledge right now, when new update comes, version 1.0, we'll stay on the XP site for update. Good information there, Sharpshooter. Thank you. Wisco Detect says, he said, your Sharpshooter said your most recent videos have been amazing. History Digger says, I'm hearing many are having to reduce silencer to better hear iron. Yeah, and I'll tell you what my experience was in just a minute, but I want you guys to tell me what you're seeing. So yes, please hit that like button. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. High Tone says, I went back to version 3.0 on my Equinox. Oh, Lord. Well, High Tones, I hope that's working for you. Relics and Rings says, I think a person should use it for at least 50 hours or so to get used to it. Obviously, it's going to be different. And it is. It's a lot different. It really is. Alabama Digger says, my only beef is it is too alertive on false signals. That being said, full tones is good and the iron nuances are better now. Almost like if you turned up the TX power gain too high on the Deus One. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of what I'm seeing with TX power when I had my Deus One. Double G Dig says, I went beach detecting Saturday and used the bone conductor headphones. They turned down the iron signal as the bone headphones did not vibrate that much. Right. And the iron volume was turned down. So you have more increments of iron volume than you've ever had before with this machine. So it's good to know. Get That Treasure, even with the issues, still dug an SLQ this weekend. So it is what it is. Very good. Awesome. Get That Treasure. Blasted Cat says, I didn't update, but my buddy did. We ran his 1.0 against my 0.71. In this case, the 1.0 was a no-go in iron. Okay, Blasted Cat. Thank you. Appreciate it, Wisco Detect and Chris. Thank y'all for looking out for me. Old Dominion Metal Detecting says, I pulled several silvers out of a burnt down 1830s church site with tons of nails. I think the separation is strong with the 11-inch coil. Okay, very good, Old Dominion. So trying to get through all these comments. You guys are spitting it out for me too tonight. I have more issue hunting in the saltwater. Beach programs are useless in the water. Way too much falsing. Diving mode is good. Got to put more time in the water and figure it out. And I had an experience similar to what you're talking about, and I'll mention that in a few minutes. Let's see here. History Digger says, yeah, pretty early to throw in the towel. We'll use it for a while to get proper feedback. She's definitely running hotter, and he's exactly right. So looks like, again, we're getting a mixed bag, and it's sort of been the same thing that I've been seeing. I did run it on the beach, and I thought it ran pretty good on the beach. But one thing that was just brought up by I think it was, yeah, Metal Detecting with the CC Kid. I had an open hole with salt water inside of it. And when I swung over it, I was getting a little bit of falsing that was showing up. And that concerned me, just like what he was saying just a few minutes ago. But I have not put it in the water, so I do not know the other part of it. But I did see that on the beach. I do have a beach video coming up real soon, so that should come out tonight. In fact. Nothing major found, but I did want to just show what I was seeing with this version. I was using beach sensitive. So you guys can check out that video after the live stream. I should have that video up just so you guys can sort of see. It's nothing major. And my video work was a little bit shaky too, I'm gonna be honest with you. But go check it out after we get done with the video. Now, the main problem that I've got right now, and I've been to this site 2 times already with this version, and it's a site that I've hunted, dozens and dozens of times. Of course, I didn't expect to really find anything, but when I put it on this site is loaded with those colonial square nails. And it was just high toning on every single little small piece of nail that I went over. And, if I didn't know any better, I would stop on every one of those signals and I would have checked every one of them, and then you would have had to either turn or you would have dug the hole and the nail would have disappeared. I mean, I'm an experienced hunter on that site, so I knew what to expect, but the whole thing with it high toning and falsing really, really, really bothered me. And I tried all sorts of things. And I believe that the best program on this machine is sensitive full tones. So if you guys are not using sensitive full tones and you're trying to hunt an iron, I would strongly suggest, if you're going to keep this version, to try sensitive full tones in iron, because I think that is the best program as far as what's available on this version, on version 1.0. So, but it was falsing. It was popping on a lot of those nails. And I've got a video clip, and I'm going to show you what I saw so you guys can sort of understand what's going on. Some of you may not be iron hunters. And if you're in modern trash, or if you're doing some other type of hunting, then or you're a park hunter, you may not be seeing some of these things. But for me, that's one of the main things that I do. I do hunt in iron infested sites. These plantation sites are just riddled with these nails. And this is something that's really not good for me at this point. So I'm going to read a couple of comments, and then I'm going to show you guys the video that I've made the other day out at the lot. And this is a lot that Calabash and I have hunted dozens of times. I mean, probably more than I can count on a hand, at least 30 times. But it's been hunted over the last 4 years, and we've pulled a lot of amazing things out of it. But it's loaded with iron. I knew this would be a good test for this machine to see what it was doing in the iron, and it was falsing. So, but I'm going to show y'all the video. But let's read a couple of comments. Sharpshooter says, after 2Com with the XP today, XP is working hard to bring another. Okay, so he was communicating with XP, is working hard to bring another update for folks. I may even show some demo with the new beta version. He doesn't know yet. Thank you, Sharpshooter, for sharing that. Ben Boggs says, it could be that we're at the point that the Deus II is detecting more targets than what people are used to hearing. Many of those targets may very well be bits of iron. And that's true. And I said this right off the bat. I was hearing more signals than I've ever heard before. But of course, I was using full tones. So, but even when I ran full tones on my Deus I, I didn't have this issue. I mean, I still heard the iron pops, but this was just over the top type iron pops with the iron falsing and iron high toning. And so, yeah, I get it, Ben. You're exactly right. Double G Dig says, the history digger said, hey buddy, all right. Digging Daryl says, Scott at Metal Detecting is having good luck with the update. Yeah, and I watched Scott's video. Scott and I are good friends. And I don't think Scott's taken it to a really loaded iron site yet either. So, but again, I think sharpshooter might even attest to this. This thing might be working pretty well in a park site, or maybe in some modern trash, and maybe you're not seeing some of these issues. But for me, I'm a relic hunter, and my first love is hunting in the iron, and it's an issue for me at this point. Okay, I'm trying to get through this. Let's see here. Daniel Shields says he forgot to mention no issues with version 1 hunting parts. Very good, Daniel. I'm glad to hear that. Wisco Detect says the Deus II is running hot. Maybe we just need to figure this out. But the history digger, all I dug this last weekend after 12 hours was nail after nail after nail. And I'm with you too, Wisco Detect. But again, we're going to talk about it a little bit more. So we've got so many comments. You guys are doing awesome. Gary Park said, I downloaded version 1.0 again. First time something was off, EMI chatty, etc. The second time did seem better. I'm sure that XP is working on the issues everyone has experienced. For example, falsing, etc. Thank you, Gary. And again, I think that's pretty much the common theme here. It's definitely more sparky than 0.71. Turn down your audio response and turn up your silencer to calm it down in iron. And the silencer is different, and sharpshooter can attest to this. This silencer is just not the same silencer that it was on the original. I mean, on the regular XP Deus II when it first came out in 0.71. It's just not. Gary Park says, I'm going to be patient. Haven't adjusted the audio response yet. And I've seen all kinds of people trying all kinds of things, but they know there's a problem. And sharpshooters just alluded to it. They know that they've got an issue, and they are trying to fix it. So hopefully we're going to have a fix for this really, really, really soon. So, and sharpshooter, I know, will attest to that. I wanted to make my first use this last weekend because of historical permissions I got, but it was all nails and a small rusty anything. Well, and that's the way it goes. Sometimes you go out with the best intentions to make a video, and it doesn't go the way you want it to. That was sort of my thinking too with Scotitech when I went out the other day too. Digging Daryl says, what is a beta version? A beta version is a test version that a lot of the testers are getting, and sharpshooter was a tester. So Ohio Fred says, audio response turned down to work for me. Good. Okay. Let's see here. Flat 6, no iron issues. Loving the new update. Full tones is much improved. Sounds more like the Deus 1, just tune it differently. Yeah, and I used the Deus 1 full tones, and I used it wide open. So yeah, I can relate to it, but this was a little bit more than normal as far as what I was seeing. So we'll see what happens. Beta version is anything lower than 1.0. Sharpshooter says beta version is trial software to study for actual implementation later on with possible small changes before release to public. Right. And Sharpshooter has seen some of these beta versions, and I know that they're going to employ him a little more to try to figure out some of these issues. So I'm sure he will have one of those beta versions real soon, and hopefully they can get to the bottom of some of this. Martin Smith says, Southern, no matter what detector you use, as long as they are square nails, I find I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'll dig a lot of square nails sometimes too. I'm not immune to it, but I know in 0.71, I sort of had my ears attuned to it a lot better, and I didn't dig as much. Now, this version, it's just like you guys are saying, it's running a little bit hotter. And it's just falsing more. So we'll see what happens. What's up, Stink Ass Cat? Glad to have you in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Will says silencer 4 on 4 worked for me. Good. All right. TN Sharpshooter says, like to see relics and Marines go to the Salt Lake with 1.0. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That will be interesting. A question to testers, what happened? Were the issues not seen? Did the software change post-testing? And I know Sharpshooter's on here, and I mean, he can tell you more. I don't want to say anything that he that he hasn't already said, but he would be the one that would be able to answer that. But something did change. Let's just put it that way. And you got to remember, he's only one tester. There were multiple testers that were out there, so it wasn't just one person that missed it. So there were a lot of things that were going on, and who knows what happened in that mix. But again, XP's working on it. They'll get it fixed. I have full faith in XP, and I believe that this iron falsing issue will get taken care of by them. I know that they're working on it hard right now at this point. Wilson Ring says, I may get out there this weekend and see how it does. T and Sharpshooter, Dirt Devil Detecting. Just got home from dirt fishing. Hi, everyone. And Dirt Devil Detecting, you might can give us your feedback too. And let us know what you have seen if you've updated to version 1. Again, Dirt Devil Detecting says, hey, Michael Coley. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to show you my quick video. Now, this is about a little over 3 minutes. This is just what I saw. And I wanted you guys to see it too, because I've got multiple clips like this. So I want you guys to watch the video, pay attention to how the machine is reacting. And again, if you like 1.0, then stay on 1.0. If it's working for you, then use it. Again, I'm just an iron hunter. So, I mean, I do more hunting in the iron than I do anything. And I need it to perform well in the iron. And I believe that XP will come through and they will get this fixed, and we'll have it the way we want it. I promise you. They're really good. So let's watch this real quick video clip, and then I'll come back on in just a minute.
All right, guys.
You guys can see.
Y'all hear that signal? Now, this is probably iron. Y'all see what it's ringing up? 85, 86, 87. Now, when I circle on it, it's still broken, but you can still hear a little bit. You can still hear that high chirp, even when I do a 360-degree turn. Now, again, this proves sometimes that even doing the 360-degree turn, it don't work out that way. So, but we're gonna dig this, okay? So you guys are gonna get to watch me dig it, and let's see what we get. Funny how this dirt does dry to the bone. Let's see what happens. Now we've opened up this hole. Now we're going to swing over the hole. All right, not in the pile, but we can see it's all over the place. 78, 06, 07. But it still sounds like iron. Still sounds like iron. Let me dig some more. See if there's something being masked that maybe we're missing. All right. I hear iron in this dirt pile. Huh. Back our camera up here, guys. There it is, whatever it is. Let's see what we got. Let's see if this is Mr. Nail. And we got us a nail. Just like what we thought. Little piece of a square nail that was causing all that ruckus. But again, that signal, oh, that's my shovel. That signal was not good. So if any of you guys are out there digging those types of signals, you're probably going to end up digging more nails, and that's maybe why you're getting all this iron falsing. These signals, they're going to sound really clear when you get over a good target. Even when it's masked, it's going to give you a pretty good sound as well. Whereas this one, which was just this little simple piece of square nail, you guys can see it there, you know, it didn't. So if you're chasing those types of signals, you're probably going to be digging a lot of nails.
Okay, so you guys got to see that. I knew that was a piece of iron. There was no question in my mind by the way it sounded. But what I'm telling you is, I can show you multiple clips of the same thing happening throughout this entire dig. And of course, again, this side is loaded with iron, but it was falsing just like that. I couldn't even walk 2 feet without getting a high tone pitch that, you know, unless you're a very, very, very experienced detectors, you're going to stop. And you don't know whether that's actually being masked or not in a lot of cases. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And y'all heard, even when I got it out of the ground, it still tried to make it, and it still was ringing up an 86, 85 in some cases when I swung over it after it was out of the ground. So again, it's tough. And I think a lot of people are seeing that all the way across the board. And we're seeing it. And it's just, you know, if you're an iron hunter like me, then that's sort of discouraging in a lot of ways. But hopefully, again, they're working on it. I know that they're working on it. And I know they want to get this thing fixed for every one of us on here. And they are going to do a good job. I know it, and I feel it in my bones. And hopefully they're going to give us what we want. So I'm going to go back to the comments real quick. Flat 6 says, must be careful with the equalizers and tone adjustments with version 1.0. If you crank up the tone volume or are deliberately trying to make high tones stand out, like on version 1, it will sound like garbage. Yeah, I've seen that too. Thank you, guys. Please, thank you, Chris. Hit that like button. Yeah, right, guys. We're on here sharing a lot of information. So definitely hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Terry Greenway says, last 2 days, 11920 school, first day audio response at 4, silencer at 3, general full tones. Okay. Dug several pieces of wire nails. Today, audio response at 2, silencer at 1, 5 tones in general. And he said it worked better. Good. Again. Digging Darrell says, have you tried? I have not tried my 11x13 coil yet. So, but I'm going to tell you what I did in just a minute. Jim Active says, I have about 16 hours of hunting with sensitive full tones with high square tones. And the more I use it, the more I like it. And that's what I was using. I actually used high square tones out on the beach. So when you watch my beach video, you'll see I'm using high square tones, and I'm using the new audio filter. And I really like that feature. And I'll tell you another feature that I really like on version 1.0, and that is the adjustment of the volume on the tones. So being able to adjust those tone bends and adjust that volume, to me, is huge. And I love that feature. So, you know, if you haven't done that yet, try it out. You're going to love it. I think it works really, really, really well. Alabama Digger says, definitely too much of that now. Little is normal, but too much is too much, distracting and annoying. Yes, it is, definitely. So that's I definitely get it. Good evening, Brian, everyone else. Hey, good evening. Glad to have you on board tonight as we guest pack. CZ Kid, nice iron, hum, and contrast. Yes. Haven't tried the filter. The audio filter on the beach is wonderful. So if you haven't tried that feature out on the beach, definitely do it. Try that new audio filter out. I had it cranked up to 4 on my beach hunt, so definitely check that out. Full tones, I was using full tones. I can't remember the exact settings I was using, but I do know that I had the audio offset or the full tones offset set to 10. I was running the silencer. I ran the silencer low because from what I saw in a couple of tests that I did out in my yard, the silencer was, I needed to run it low in order to make it unmask better. So the unmasking part too is another thing. If you haven't watched Sharpshooter's video, you might want to go check out his showing the unmasking of that. So definitely. Stink-ass cat, thank you so much. I really appreciate the donation. And again, all of that goes back to my channel. So thank you so much for the donation. And he's a very avid supporter and a very avid metal detector. So thank you so much, Stink-ass cat. Yes, Alabama Digger had a good video up the other day. I saw it. Thank you, Alabama Digger. Don't tread on me, metal detecting. Got over my first copper, really sweet tone. That's awesome. Love those coppers. Based on Sharpshooter's findings, I kept the silencer on 0 and used my WSA2 XLs, and most of the iron is recognizable if you use to your days. And that's what I did. And I mean, I knew the majority of the targets that I was digging was iron. I mean, I knew it. I mean, I could tell in the tone and in the audio. I knew all of those things. So again, you know, but if I didn't know that, if I wasn't an experienced DS2 user, then I probably would have been digging a lot of nails. So again, they're working on that. Sharpshooter, yeah, Pepe Le Pew's here. Yeah, the skunks. Beach sensitive works great. Yes, I used beach sensitive the other day. David Frazier on the beach, and I will have that video up, a beach video up, real soon. In your opinion, Teach, percentage-wise, how much falsing in 1.0 versus 0.71 late to the show? Maybe you have already mentioned. It's hard to say, but I just feel like there was a lot more than what I was seeing in the other version. So, you know, for whatever that's worth. But I think across the board, you're seeing it. It's not just me. It's a bunch of people that are saying the same thing. And all of us are experienced DAS users. So it seems to be a problem. And if it weren't a problem, XP wouldn't be addressing it. And they're trying to address it. And hopefully we'll have a fix for it. And hopefully it'll be very, very soon from what we're hearing. So maybe that will be really, really good. James Bazell says, I'm mainly a corn shooter in newer parts in schools. I updated 1.0. I'm digging more iron than ever. I will be rolling back to 0.71 tomorrow. And again, James, if you're struggling with it, that's probably the best option right now is to go ahead and just go back to 0.71 and wait for this fix. Because I'm telling you, the features on it are great. And these features are really going to improve this machine. They just got to get it ironed out. And they're going to do it. I really feel like they will. Don't tread on me. Metal detecting says it works good for me. My biggest enemy is square nails, and there is no fix with any machine. That's right. There is no fix for falsing square nails. I got a couple of nails out here right now in my backyard that I can swing over, and it's going to false every time. You're not going to get rid of all of it, but you want to be able to recognize it. That's the whole thing. It's not just necessarily getting rid of all of it. It is being able to recognize it, and recognizing it is very, very key. But I also don't want to be swinging around and getting a high tone everywhere I swing. And I don't want that either. And that's pretty much what we were seeing with this version. Let's see. Terry Greenway did wind up. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. History Digger, thank you for the donation. Thank you, Dig and Daryl, for the donation. I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much. That definitely goes towards the channel. So thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate you too, Rob. You're awesome, buddy. Keep after it. Keep the fight going. Savannah Harp, Sharpshooter does the masking problem with Silencer 2 with version 1.0 transfer to pitch program as it does in full tones. And Sharpshooter could answer that. I have not tried to do an unmasking test in pitch, but Sharpshooter could probably answer that question. But I know Sharpshooter struggled testing it the other day. In version 1, and it was struggling unmasking. It really was. So Metal detecting with CZ Kid. Mine is falsing a lot. David Frazier in the water, unhuntable at this point. Still working on it. So again, there's just a lot going on, guys, and they are working very, very hard to get these things resolved and get these things fixed. So again, thank you, History Digger. I know I said that a few minutes ago. Digging Daryl, thank you so much. Appreciate you for the donation. Thank y'all, because all these things go back to helping me with this channel and to helping me learn as much as I can too, to bring y'all good content. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Savannah Harps, Sharpshooter says, does the masking problem with Silencer 2 with version 1 transfer to PIT? It does in full tones, best I remember, yes. So there you go. So he's telling you that information there. Let's see what else. I'm trying to read through here. Metal detecting with the CZ Kit. I hear the iron much better with a higher iron volume. Helps to define in full tones. Yeah, and full tones is awesome. That's why I said I'm really hoping that the falsing issue will get fixed. Make It Work says, I like the full tones. Me too. I'm with y'all 100% on that. Lance McElwain says, I did some pitch tests in version 0.71, still killed version 1.0. And that's what Sharpshooter saw, was that it was basically doing that for the most part. Don't tread on me, metal detecting. Every machine I've owned, same response to square nails, but digging those signals has worked so many times. A really high tone square nail versus a coin on edge. And, you know, and I've had this conversation. Michael Coley's on here. He and I have had this conversation. I mean, how many times have you gotten over that signal and it high toned and then you turned on it and it went away? And you could still hear some iron. How many of those really actually turn out to be good targets? But if you're in a site, you know, that's produced, you're going to dig some of those targets. And that's pretty much what I was doing in this video, because there weren't any targets left, to be honest with you. Calabash and I wiped that site. So I went into it just seeing what I could, you know, do with version 1, just seeing if it could really pick anything. But again, a lot of falsing, a lot. And again, I can show y'all multiple videos on that site, and it was brutal. It was really brutal. Bobby Short went back to 0.71. Now my WSA are stuck at 1.0 and will not work. Probably need to go back to 1.0. Try it again, Bobby. I mean, sometimes that won't. One thing I can say is that if we learned anything, we learned how to update our machines through this update. Because boy, for the people that were switching to going to 1.0, and then for people going back from 1.0 to 0.71, we saw a lot of people learning how to update their machines. So try it again, let that thing die, and then try to update it again. Make sure that you hold that minus button down first and then the plus button. Wait for that light to turn solid. Once it turns solid, release the button and then plug it into the computer. I don't know if that's the process you were following, but that will definitely help. Dirt Devil Detecting says, running the iron volume at 7. Phoebe Samba Team, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, I was curious if you go back to the old version with your headphones, get stuck. No, you can definitely go back on the headphones as well. Sharpshooter showed that on his channel as well. So kudos to Sharpshooter. I actually did that whole process, and I'll tell you guys in just a second. Metal Detecting Northwestern Wisconsin. Bobby, you can update the headphones to 0.6 or 0.71. Metal Detecting with the CZ Kid. I've never premiered at Wisco. Not even sure how to do it, but thank you. Love to do live, but can never seem to reach these YouTube hefty requirements. Metal Detecting CZ Kid, you'll get there, buddy, because you do a good job. You really do. I've watched some of your videos. They're always really good. Make It Work. It's site dependent. If you think something really good there, you go for it. That's true. Definitely. What's up, Detect Dig Smile? Glad to have you in here. We're just talking about the version 1.0 update. When Deus comes out with the fix, do you know if the version is still going to be 1.0 or a different version? It'll probably be a different version, but I believe that they'll probably keep 1.0 still on the site. So, you know, if you like 1.0 and you don't want to change anything, then don't. I mean, stay with 1.0. That's the great thing about what XP does. Sharpshooter says, Bobby Short went back to 0.71. Now my WS. Yeah, he says, don't use old updater to go back to 0.71. WSA not listed. He's exactly right. Use the cloud version of the updater. Don't use the one that you had to download onto your computer to do this. So Sharpshooter's exactly right. I did that process last night, and it went pretty smooth, and we'll talk about that. Sounds like some of the programs took a slide, but sensitive full tones, yes. And I think of all the programs that came out in this new update, I think sensitive full tones made the biggest jump. Now, I know they did a lot to the general program, but sensitive full tones for me, I think is going to be a beast in iron. So for you guys that are relic hunters and iron hunters like me, I think that sensitive full tones is going to be one that's going to be a good program to start using. So I look forward to that. Terry Greenway says, I loaded 1.0 twice. Yeah, I can relate to that too. Let's see here. Deus II group admin here. We'll be publishing information given by XP to assist all in a few days. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that so much. The XP Deus II group, they're an awesome group too. So check Chris and them out that's on Facebook. So you can definitely check them out. Make It Work says, thanks for the tip, T and Sharpshooter. Never thought about going back to the old version. It was stored on my computer. Sharpshooter, Phoebe Samba Team Instagram, Sharpshooter, how do you put your headphones back in 0.71? All you have to do is select the WSA icon, which is in the upper right-hand side of your screen on the updater, and it'll do it. I mean, and then you got a drop-down menu. That was the other thing. Make sure that you use the drop-down menu, which is on the left-hand side of the screen, and make sure you drop that down from 1.0, and then you'll see 0.71 and you'll see 0.6. So you can update your WSAs and your WSA2XLs with the cloud updater. So it's there. So if anybody does need to go back on their headphones and their remote and their WS6s, then you can definitely do it there. So it's there for you, though, just to let you guys know. Jim Pugh says, just updated, friend, an old downloadable software, no trouble. Okay, good job, Jim. Pete, hello. 1.0 is going to remain. That's right. And that's what I thought too. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that information. Michael Coley says, keep an eye on the, thank you, Michael. We're working on it, and Sharpshooter is working on it. I know a lot of people are anxious at this moment, but be calm. I promise everything's going to be good, and they're going to get this thing fixed. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, I did. And I've got a video coming up, Detect, Dig, Smile. I know you popped in here a little bit late, but I do have a beach video. Now, there's nothing great on there, so don't expect to see fantastic finds, but it does show me using the 1.0 software on the beach. So look forward to that, and you guys check it out when it does come on. And, it's just, I'm showing the features. I'm using beach sensitive. I'm using the audio filter turned up. I'm using high square tones in some cases. So, yeah, look for some of that. And that'll be coming up after the live stream as soon as I get it up. 1.0 could be a ticket for artillery shells, though. Not even joking. That's the truth, Alabama digger. If you're digging iron and you want to dig a lot of iron, big iron, you could definitely probably do well with 1.0. So that's a good one. Thank you so much for that. Chris, when the fix comes out, we'll just go into the update with the 1.0 again. You'll go into the cloud updater and whatever number or version or whatever they call it. And Chris might be able to answer this, and Sharpshooter, I don't know if he knows yet either, but they'll have it up on that cloud updater, and you'll just be able to update. Should be no problem. So definitely stay tuned for that. BK, XP is packed and ready for the road trip tomorrow morning for Pennsylvania. I had updated it to version 1.0. Well, BK, you're not going to be disappointed. You're going to find that. I mean, it's not like it's not useless by no means. I mean, I don't want anybody to think that either. The update is great. The features that they put on it are great. You're going to struggle, though, if you go into iron with it. I'm just going to be honest. You're going to get a lot of falsing. And, but BK, you're an experienced hunter. You're probably going to be able to tell the iron, but you will experience more high toning than you've probably ever heard before. So that's the only thing that I can tell you at this point. Detecting smile. Yep. It goes right back. All right. Let's see here. Where am I at on here? I'm trying not to miss anybody. If I miss something, you guys let me know. No problem, Detecting Smile. I appreciate it. I'll have that up right after this is over with. Wisco Tech says, I'll make a video on how to go back on 0.71s. It's not an issue. It's not hard at all. And I've actually done it. And again, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Just moved to Little River, just settling into the new house. Looking forward to hitting the beach with version 1.0. And you're not going to be disappointed on the beach. I think it works pretty good. I used Beach Sensitive the other day, and I didn't really have any issues with it. And so, yeah, go use Beach Sensitive. Try it out. Like I said, you're going to be able to run this machine in version 1 with no problems. It's just, again, iron, I think, is the main issue at this point. Digging Daryl says his pay streak, an XP tester, he said that he had over 100 hours with 1.0 update. Just to clarify, the 1.0 update that came out, the one that we're all using right now, I don't believe that came out until, shortly before we actually got it. So he doesn't have 100 hours with 1.0. Now he has a lot of update. He has a lot of hours maybe with all the different beta versions that he probably experienced, but I don't think he's got all those hours with just this update that we have at this point. Surfside Dan says he's back. All right, Surfside Dan, I hope you got your stuff settled and got your headphones and other things settled up with your update. I know you were struggling with a couple of things too. BK says I'm in PA. PA has a lot of iron. Yeah, I know. All right, I'm off SRA. Everyone needs to remember this. What's up? Digging Daryl. You got to remember silencer. And again, and Chris, I've said this a few times. The silencer that we have on version 1 is not the same silencer that we had on 0.71. And people just got to realize that. It's either a tick or 2 ticks different than what it was before. And Sharpshooter can attest to this. If he's still on here, he can tell you about where that silencer is set up. Okay, Surfside Dan said he was up and running. All right, great, Surfside Dan. Glad to hear that. Chris says above 4, you will not be able to rely on target ID. The Gold Max had no display. Okay, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I did downgrade to, well, I won't say downgrade. I did drop back down to 0.71 just because of the iron issues. Other than that, I love all the features. I'm just waiting on them to sort of resolve some of this stuff. And I have full faith in XP that they'll do that and they'll get it the way we want it. I just know. And so, yeah, I did downgrade, or I did go down to 0.71. And, I'm going to use that for right now until they get some of these other things sort of worked out. I might go back on one of my machines and put it on 1.0 just so I can maybe compare some things just to see where it was. But right now I am at 0.71 until they get some of that stuff sort of ironed out. But I did hunt on the beach with 1.0. So that's why I did want to put that video up, because I know some people on here are beach hunters and they might want to see that. But yes, I did go down to 0.71. Especially after what I was seeing in the iron on a continuous basis. So, but again, there are some people that are doing great with 1.0 and they're not having those issues and they're loving it, and that's great. And stay there if that's working for you. No need to go back down to 0.71. Just keep using 1.0, and then when the new update comes out, then you can update that way, or you can stay on 1.0. That's the great thing about XP, is they give you a lot of options. Let's see here, and I know there's a lot of comments. CZ Kid, he says I may have given you the wrong email. Finders Keepers says still haven't updated the 0.71 or whatever it is. Okay, all right. So Finders Keeper, are you on 0.6 or did you did you go up to 1.0? Or did you not update? So we'll see what he says. Chris says, I agree. I'm off. Even us XP affiliates are on 0.7 because it works for us. Some of us enjoy 1.0, but it depends on the ground, and it does. And again, I went back down to 0.7, but as soon as they get this thing fixed, I'll be right back. I'll be right back up, back on whatever the new version is going to be. And I know that XP is working very, very hard on that. Alan Burns says, I think I'm the only one that's not having problem. No, you're not, Alan. I've seen a lot of good reports. You can go watch. There's a couple of people on YouTube that are doing very, very well with 1.0. And again, it does work for some people. It's just, I'm an iron hunter and I go on relic sites. I go on big, huge plantations with tons and tons of colonial square nails and all sorts of things, farm implements, all sorts of things all over the place. And it's just, I was just having a hard time with the falsing part of it. So if you're having success with 1.0, then use it. The features are great. I mean, all the features they gave us are superb. The volume for the tone bends, the audio filter, the offset full tones, the improvement on full tones. All of those are things that people, really, really like. And I love being able to, to have the iron volume and being able to adjust that and make it where I don't have that iron blaring in my ears all the time too. So they've done a lot of great things with this update. So if you're not having any issue, stay with 1.0. And again, they're going to have something out. I think they're going to have something out fairly soon, but we'll see what happens there. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You take care too. Thank you so much. Terry Greenway says dropping audio response and silencer does help. Keeping 1.0, it is very, very deep. And that was the one thing that I told Sharpshooter today was that one thing that I did notice that the targets that I was digging were all very deep. So I do believe the depth is there. And you've heard, and I think a lot of people have referred that this machine is running a little bit hotter than what it had previously. So, and I might agree with that. And I think it is a little bit deeper in some cases. And that's what I saw the other day, even in this iron infested lot, that I was getting a lot of depth and I was running my reactivity up to 4 on this lot. So to get really extreme depth was really, really good. So again, it was awesome. Take Big Smile says, I wish I had the machines to test like that. I'm the computer and then off and back on. It was getting old today, back and forth updating. Well, I know. Look, I felt your pain because I had to do 3 machines and 3 sets of headphones and all sorts of things last night. So but I did learn how to update my machine, if anything. So that was good. Finders Keepers says, I wish I had the big numbers, but okay. So Finders Keepers, I'm assuming you're still on 6.0 because I know I asked you that a few minutes ago. Yes, 6. Thank you. Did anybody have luck on the beach with this setting? I might have missed the comments. Tell us what the settings were, Phoebe Samba. I must have missed them too because I'm trying to read all these comments at the same time. Everyone else, Deus II groups will have some info, genuine, decent info direct from working with XP in a couple of days. Okay, thanks, Chris, for sharing that. I tested with 0.60 today. Okay. And did you see any differences? Just curious, Detect Big Smile. Joshua Sipe says, how low are y'all dropping audio response? 0.71, I used 3. Now I don't know what to use. Yeah, that's a tough one. 4, maybe. That's just what I'm thinking. It is a little bit different. And now that you got that audio, but I would not use the audio filter in iron. I would use it on a beach or in open fields, but I wouldn't adjust the audio filter in iron. Bell says, my husband and I went back to 0.71 yesterday. My husband says 1.0 reminds him of the Manicore. And I've heard that too, Bells. I hate to say that, but yeah, because it's falsing on the same types of things that the Manicore was falsing on too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Proudly American 276 says, seems like square nails sound like deep whispers to me. I chased a few, mostly these today. Every one of them sounded whispery and deep to me. Two-way, good or right. If you get a two-way repeatable signal, it's still going to be probably a good target on this machine, whether you're in iron or whether you're in open ground, wherever it may be. You get that two-way repeatable signal and you can do the circle or turn on it and it still stays the same, then you got to dig it. I mean, it could be a nail or it could be a piece of iron, but more than likely it's going to be a good target. So, and it's just like, if for you guys that saw the video clip that I showed earlier, I mean, that was a repeatable two-way signal, but you saw that even after I turned and went all the way around it and I dug that target, it still turned out to be a nail. But of course, I could hear the grunt in it, but I could also hear the high tone in it. And you know, I just don't want to go through a place where I'm hearing all those high tones just on small targets like what I dug in that video. So again, Chris says, hello, Bells. None of my machines have ever been the same after an update. Well, I get that because sometimes these updates can be a little bit wonky. But this is one of the first ones that I know of that XP sort of had an issue with. Most of their updates have been really, really good. So I really think that they'll get their stuff together and it'll be good when they do come out with this next one. So I think 1.0 does seem to be more stable in my soil. Great. Like I said, if it's working, stay with it. And it does run a little bit more hot. I think it is more sensitive naturally to the little square nails. But again, you got to put your ears on and listen. And if you put your ears on and you're able to differentiate and tell those little nuances in some of those iron targets, you're going to know it. You're going to know it. So, and I would use sensitive full tones detecting smile. I don't know if that's what you're using or not, but I would definitely use that as well. Max frequency too. Yeah, thanks, Alabama Digger. Yeah, the max frequency feature is really nice because now you can adjust those. You can adjust those frequencies. You got 24, you got 40, 24, and 14 that you can adjust those frequencies, which is really, really nice too. So thank you for reminding me about that, Alabama Digger. Joshua Sipes says full tones offset is great for my water hunting. All right, Josh, that's superb, and I like the idea of the full tones offset. And I'm hoping that, you know, with this new feature or not new feature, but this new update that they're going to come out with, that none of that stuff gets messed up, because that is a great, great feature. I like that as well. He said, don't tread on me, metal detecting. I'm going to stay 1.0 at least long enough to explore all the possibilities. Yeah, and like I said, sensitive full tones is the one that I'd be using. If you're hunting iron, definitely. Once I get a little ear tuning, I will start playing with audio. Very good. Yeah. And play with those tone bend volumes. Those tone bend volumes are great. I love that. Being able to adjust those tone bend volumes, you can adjust that thing down, and it really, really, really helps if you get iron fatigue, which you will. If you leave that thing cranked up. Yeah, Wisco Detect says, no doubt, features are amazing. I'm just thrown off on my old site. Right. And again, I love the features. I'm just, you know, I just want those falsing high tone nails to get some of that fixed. Michael Coley says, love the new features on the update. It'll be great when it's ironed out. Michael's right. And I keep saying that, but I feel the same way that Michael feels. So, again, I appreciate it. We got so many comments. You guys are great. Y'all are leaving so much tonight. Multi-frequency, 40 kilohertz gives the depth and sensitive beach least my area. Okay. 40 kilohertz gives the depth. And said, oh, okay. All right. Yes. Very good, Jim. Yeah. And I was using 40 kilohertz as well yesterday on the beach. So look for that coming out real soon. So let's see here. We got so many comments here. Ben Boggs says version 1.0 is very hot with about 30 hours on it. I like it. More iron, yes, but also finding deeper targets. Again, that's what we just said. We're seeing deeper. We're seeing deeper, definitely. My iron was coming up 85, 86 for me in 1.0. Same here. Detect Big Smile saw the same thing. Bell says we use 1.0 on beach sensitive on the beach. Seemed work fine, maybe even a little more stable than the old 0.71. And that's what I used the other day too, Bell. So you guys are seeing a lot of the same things. Wisco Detects, I think Deus II is running really hot, but still I love her. That's right. I think we all feel that way. We all feel that way, guys. Definitely. Joshua Sipes says, maybe I was having depth issues because I was running recovery of 2. I'll go back to that spot this weekend and crank it to 3 or 4. So if you go up on your recovery, you should technically lose a little more depth. You shouldn't be gaining depth, but recovery of 2 would probably, Josh, should help you get depth. You can even, like even on the beach, sometimes I'll run it down to 1 or even 0.5. I try to run it around 1 though, and I'll run between 1, 1.5 and 2 on the beach. So, but yeah, 2 would have been good. I think 2, 2.5, 3 are great recovery speeds just for general detecting. If you want to go deep, then drop down below 2 and run it at 1, and just slow your swing speed down if you got clean ground. If you got iron infested or loaded with trash, then you definitely want to run that reactivity up. Proudly American says, I'm digging nails hitting 80 and 81, which for a Civil War hunter, there is no moss. Love all the stuff they gave us and agree it's way different. May need just to learn it in rock. It's odd because it's hitting and got cut off there. But again, we're all seeing those same exact things. Proudly American 276. Metal detecting with CZ Kid. Just got my D-Tech Ed lower shaft from XP Deus factory shaft. Wanted to get it in the water and try it. No flex. Yeah, I've heard those shafts are amazing. BK, if version 1 starts to be an issue for me in North, I can always fall back on old trusty Equinox 800 that I keep at my dot. I hope you don't have any problems. BK, just be aware that you might get some falsing. And be aware of listening for those signals. And you're an experienced detector, so I don't think you're going to have too much of an issue. It's smacking things in my yard, and I don't know which I can never hit. IDing things which I can never hit. Nails above the bullet, but in the wild, no moss. Very good. I used 4 audio recovery. Okay, very good. 4, that's good. I do too. When I get in heavy iron, that's what I'm using. I'm seeing 0.60 is better, but the VDI is not stable yet. 0.71 was definitely better to me than 0.60. So yeah, I agree. Finders keepers, we must have 50% more power. Look, that 50, we know what happens with 50% more power for sure. Terry Greenway, every very deep weeks we're giving a great signal. It's hot on nickels. I ran 3 audio response today and it did good, right? 3, 4, those are all good audio responses for sure. Michael Coley, I've heard the same. Wisco Detect said, sweet, that's my next purchase. Thank you, CZ Kid. Came out of Australia, very good. Let's see what else we got here. I dropped from 4 to 3 on 1.0 for audio response. And if target is a bit iffy, really slow swing when pinpointing makes the iron really stand out. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Alan. That's a great comment. You guys are awesome. Y'all are lighting me up tonight. Let's see here. No grunt. Let's see. We have to give credit to XP for listening and releasing 1.0, as well as continuing to listening and addressing the current. Yeah, that's it. And again, nobody's pointing fingers at anybody. XP did what they thought was the right thing to do. And, sometimes these things just don't work out. We're dealing with things that can be erratic at some point. So they're going to get it fixed. Again, Detective Smile says, I will have to try full tones. I normally run the Deus tone. Yeah, full tones are awesome, Detective Smile. Proudly American 276. To be clear, I dug a 2-inch long square nail today, two-way signal, 2-way signal. I can't, 4 sensitive, 5-inch deep, and sounded like 10 plus inches. Whisper 8081. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. But yeah, I mean, a big old square nail, sometimes you just can't get away from those things. I mean, I'll be honest with you. And I've dug my share of those as well. And guys, if I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm trying to go through, I'm by myself, and sometimes this is tough. Has anybody tried Park yet? Think it may have really good tones and square high tones. I have not tried Park, so somebody on here might be able to tell you. Joshua Sipe says Beach Sensitive is the only program I'll run on South Texas coast. I get no falsing even when crank sensitivity when using auto ground tracking. Saw sensitivity of 9. Good, Josh. If that's working, you run Recovery of 1. Yeah, Recovery of 1 is great. It's great for the beach, especially if you're wanting to hit deep. I think it was good. This is the busiest chat I've ever seen on any great. Yes, this is an awesome community. I feel like I've got some of the most loyal and most hardcore metal detectors out there. I've watched a lot of channels, but there is more stuff that is shared on our channel than some of those others. And I'm so happy that you guys feel that way. And I just love being able to help people, and I love everybody sharing information. Make It Work says sensitive full tones works really good in the nails. I'm not having a problem. Yes. And again, I'm going to say this over and over. Sensitive full tones to me is one of the best programs on version 1. I know they worked hard on general, but I'm telling you, sensitive full tones, if you're an iron hunter, sensitive full tones is the way definitely to go. Terry Greenway says he ran his at 1.5 at the old school, worked really great. Joshua Detective Smile says Joshua Sipes, I always use beach sensitive, even in the dirt. Now I've never tried beach sensitive in the dirt. So that's a new one on me, Detective Smile. Let's see here. If you ever need a Robin, you could be my Batman. I'm live with you anytime. Okay. Oh, now that since I got 50 of you on here right now, one thing I wanted to mention is I got a great live stream coming up on Friday night. So definitely tune in Friday night. I've got Gone Digging, who's going to be on live with me Friday night at 7:30. So be here for that. Matt is a avid XP Deus user. He's got a great channel. So definitely come back Friday night at 7:30. If you can't be here, then check it out on the replay. But yeah, Matt Howell will be here from Gone Digging. He will be here with me on the live stream on Friday night. And then next week, we're going to have a special show on Thursday. So we're not going to be doing a Friday next week for you guys that always tune in on Friday night at 7:30. We're going to have Diggin' Dixie on here for you guys that know who Diggin' Dixie is. Go check out her channel. She's going to be on here live with me, answering questions and talking metal detecting. So I've got 2 great guests coming up for you guys for these live streams. So definitely come and check us out Friday night, 7:30. Gone Digging, Matt Howell will be here with me. If you don't know, Matt was on the Beyond Oak Island History Channel series, but he will be on here with me Friday night. We're going to talk XP Deus again, and Matt's going to share some of his information, some of his tips and picks too. So stay tuned to check out Matt, who's going to be coming on for sure. Joshua Sipes says, I'll give that a shot. Air testing told me general was deeper than beach sensitive on small gold, so that's why I use it in fresh water. Right. Yeah. Oh, wow. Great, Josh. That's awesome. Proudly American says it's odd and frustrating. First 5 minutes after update, I'm hitting a 3-ringer, quarter under nails, and IDing the bullet correctly, and 85 on quarter. And I promised knots for 0.71 on the random piece. I was hyped. Yeah. Oh, look, that'll get you hyped for sure. Proudly American. Very good. Great part is XP has some great programmers. They will make it better. You take a big smile. I know. Proudly American says, I also think knowing the community feelings of it causes me to second guess every signal, especially after pulling a few nails. Just keep rolling, brother. I mean, you know, if it's working for you, you know, don't worry about what people are saying. Go out and find stuff with it. I love it. I think that's great. Let's see here. Phoebe Samba, I agree, very hot on nickels. I dug more nickels than anything. Wow. Yeah, nickels. Sorry for the abbreviations. I type more clearly. That's okay. It's hard to read when I'm trying to read all these different comments. Recovery of zero. Yes, I like a recovery of zero. Best live chat that I have been on. Thank you, Terry. I try really, really, really hard to be a good host. So, but yeah, we got a lot of good guests coming up. So definitely come back and check us out on Friday night. I tried it in deep high conductor and ran it across the nickel and David, and I was jumping all over the place, but in the other settings, it was stable. Okay, good. Proudly American says, I only dig relic size and tough ones, so I know nails. It seems off, but I'm only 1.5 hours in. I'll keep going for better analysis for sure. Can't update or revert for 2 weeks anyway. Right, yeah. So, I mean, if you got it and you're having success with it, there's no reason to change. Definitely. Alabama Digger says, I dig a lot in the low country, so I know what you guys hunt in. I have similar sites here. That's why I trust you guys. Got to be confident in iron beds or game over. Right. Yeah, I go into those iron beds, and look, when I'm holding that XP Deus II machine in my hand, I'm the most confident person in the world. I know I'm always going to find something. And that's the great thing about that machine. And I know XP's done a great job with these updates, and they're going to make it right. Yes, Relic Jedi is 7:30 Eastern. So yes, 7:30 Eastern on Friday night will be Matt Howell and Gone Digging, and we will be on here together live. And then next week it'll be at 7:30 on Thursday night, and I'm going to have Digging Dixie on here, and she's an excellent female detectorist, and you guys are going to like her too as well. She's a super, super, super nice lady. Beach programs in the dirt or deep programs, right? All you need to do is use dive. Try dive on the dirt and try dive in a modern park. You want to see something deep? Dive is deep, and dive is the most stable program on the beach for you guys that don't know that. If you've never tried dive and you want to go on and hit a deep target, run dive on the beach and watch what that thing does. And it runs very stable. So yes, dive is definitely deep. On my video I've done in the past 6 months, I've been in beach sensitive in Pennsylvania dirt. It did great in old properties. Awesome, dude. That is so good. I love positive community that we have now. It always seemed like it was so hostile, and I just didn't like it, but it seems so nice now. We're all here to help each other, you know, and that's what it should be about. We all love this. We all love what we're doing. And Wisco Detect, that's what it's all about. It's just going out and having fun, you know. Gone Digging, didn't he have 30 videos? I don't know. I don't know. Matt was on Beyond Oak Island. So definitely check him out. Check us out. We'll be together Friday night, 7:30. You guys can ask him all kinds of questions. Hey, and let me tell you something. This guy is a great detectorist. He has found some unbelievable stuff. And if you want to check out what he's about, check out his channel. He's got a bunch of subscribers. He has more than me, and but he's an awesome dude, and I'm looking so forward to having him on here. He's an excellent guy. Being more sparky and having all these added on options, there will never be a fixed program with fixed settings that will work everywhere or even 2 places. You might, yes, we all, yeah, you're right, exactly, Jim. So that's the way it just is, you know. We're never going to get a perfect metal detector. I mean, as much as we want to say that, there's always going to be something that it's just not going to be right. But XP's working hard to try to get us the best machine out there. William, I know most here are XP users, and I am as well, but do any of you anticipate MindLab to release some sort of update for the Mana Core? I have that machine as well. The last I've heard as far as MindLab goes is that they are working on that update. Now, when, and who knows when that's going to happen, I don't know. But I know that they are trying to get this worked out for sure, because they want their machine to be good too. And MyLab makes a great machine, guys. They really do. No questions about it. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Ben Boggs says, I've been detecting since 1972. The Deus II has been a game changer for me. I detect a lot of very trashy mineralized sites, extremely hard to hunt with any detector. The Deus II has been a beast. Yeah, and I agree with you 100% on that, Ben. It's my favorite detector, and it's the one that I feel the most confident with for sure. Wisconsin, Texas, I think all you guys are great. I appreciate all of your input. You guys are amazing. I love this hobby, and I love my Deus too. Thank you, Wisconsin Tech. Charlie Tucker says, do you find that the coil drains faster? And that's a good question, Charlie. I cannot answer that, but a sharpshooter, if he's still on here, he might be able to answer it. I haven't seen him comment, so he must be, who knows, he might have already gotten his new update. Let's hope he did. Yes. Dive is always the last resort. Dive is deep, though, guys. I'm telling you, I've dug a 14-inch quarter with dive out in an open field. So, yeah, it hits pretty deep. Carson Chris says he loves some of the new audio features, but switched back to 0.71. Yeah, Carson Chris, that's what a lot of us are saying right now. I switched back to 0.71, but again, I think XP is going to get this thing fixed, and hopefully they'll have it. Hopefully they'll have it soon. Oh, that was the Gone Hunting. He's the one with the 30. Yeah, when you said 30-30, I'm thinking ESPN, but you meant like 30-30, like the guns and stuff. So yeah, no, Matt is the name of his channel is Gone Digging. So yeah, check him out. Go watch a couple of his videos. I think if you don't already, subscribe to him. But he will be on here with us on Friday night. Yes, and that's what this is about. If we all help each other, we all make the product better in the end. Thank you, Detective Smile. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, and smash that like button. I don't know how many likes I have, but I should have more, I hope. Again, that helps with that algorithm. We are so lucky to be able to switch versions. Imagine if you couldn't, right? I agree. That's what I was telling Sharpshooter tonight. So, yes, you are able to switch versions. Again, he lives in a location in Eastern Virginia, I think. Yes, that's exactly right. That's why you want to be on here for him. He finds some amazing things. So you definitely want to check him out. Terry Greenway said, getting permission at old school, had to agree, carry my bluegrass band down and do a fundraiser June 10th. All right. Yes. Thank you. Make it work. Really enjoy your show. Thank you for putting up. No problem. Hey, I make them too. I'm like the worst texter on a cell phone. I'll end up screwing up a word in a heartbeat. Sometimes it's not good. Sharpshooter says, new video up where I'm showing the WSA2 headphones to 0.71. Yeah, so go check out it for anybody that's looking at going back to 0.71. Sharpshooter just said he put a new video up. Sharpshooter, they were asking, since you're on here, they were asking, do you think that the battery drains anymore with all of these new features? Someone asked that just a few minutes ago, and I don't know, but I know you've been using a lot of these features for a while now, so you might can answer that question for them. If you do 14K, it will eat battery faster. Okay, all right. So yes, if you're running deep high conductor and some of the ones, the fast program and some of the others, they're gonna drain it. And if you turn your light on too, naturally they're gonna drain a little bit faster. But I don't know how much. Deus II has also changed my collection to tenfold. Positive tenfold. Best year ever. More good finds than previous 4 years. Awesome, proudly American. Yes, thank you, Josh. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. And again, thanks for being a great supporter. You guys are awesome. We're getting near the end of these comments because yes, Calabash did switch back. He and I had a conversation this morning, and yes, he has switched back to 0.71 as well. And he and I basically saw the same thing, so he's definitely switched over. Yes, thank you. Make it work. Yes, Gone Digging is very proficient with the MindLab GPX. Yes, he hunts a lot of those Civil War sites, so I think you guys are definitely going to want to see that. Charlie Tucker says, I was using sensitive full tones all the way up to 40. Yes, very good. Awesome. I love sensitive full tones. To be clear, that with the Deus II, with Tennessee sharpshooter's knowledge and a pinch, I sprinkle in. There you go. Proudly American. That's awesome, buddy. Sharpshooter would be glad to hear that. Yes, Bell says Sharpshooter did a great video showing what a lot of us were seeing in the field, right? And he showed one showing the unmasking problems with it too. So again, and he did a comparison. And so Sharpshooter and I have been talking. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. Did the video. We knew you were somewhere, Sharpshooter, because you weren't answering questions with me. So they knew you had gone off somewhere. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I know I've talked a lot tonight. Sharpshooter says you run 24 or 14 kilohertz, it will deplete battery faster. Okay, so it'll deplete it faster than at 40, Sharpshooter. Is that what you're saying? Because I think Detect Big Smile said 40 in just an earlier post. Terry Greenway, glad I'm not using my handwriting. It looks like chicken scratching. I get it, Terry. Proudly American. CZ Kid, I think you're correct and attentive. If only the Deus II updates were like SP01 to Shadow. That's true. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. David Moss said, first time out with the Deus II using Calabash Digger settings on general program, I smacked a 1909 Barber dime. I'm hooked. Yeah. And Calabash and I have been hunting together for 7 years. And basically, we've used this machine. We used the first Deus. We got this machine early on back when it was first released. And we fell in love with this machine. So, yeah, we were going back to sites, and it was just like Christmas all over again on some of these sites once we got the Deus II. So I can definitely relate to that. Thank you, Daniel, so much. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I've shared some information that everybody can use tonight. And everybody else has shared information too. So I really love this, and I love my community, and I love you guys to being here tonight and helping out, because again, a lot of us have been struggling with some of this, but we've got a great community. We got a lot of knowledgeable people, and everyone sharing information on here is what this channel is mainly about. And again, we got a great live stream coming up on Friday night with Gone Digging. Matt's going to be here. I'm looking so forward to talking with Matt and, talking about the XP Deus II. So we're going to have more great XP Deus II information and content coming to you Friday night, 7:30 Eastern time. Be here. It's going to be an awesome, awesome, awesome show. Thank you, Michael, so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, Matt will be here. And then, like I said, next week, we got a real good treat with Digging Dixie's going to be here. Check her channel out too, because she's an awesome young lady. So let's see what else. We're getting ready to wrap up, guys. I've been on here for almost an hour and 30 minutes. So yeah, I got to get off. I got to work tomorrow. We'll check out a couple more comments. Deus II needs a small coil. We're waiting, and we're hoping that's coming next. And we're hoping maybe sometime, maybe towards the end of the year, we see that. Detective Smile, it was great to hear what I'm seeing. A lot of others are seeing. Thanks. No problem, Detective Smile. I appreciate you. You do a great job with your videos too. I watched them. So great job on your videos. Thank you, Daniel Shields, Wisco Detect. Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. All the donations definitely go back to help out. Ricky Benning, greetings. Glad I saved all my 0.71 settings. Well, like I said, Ricky, at least we're learning how to update our machines. So we're getting good at that for sure. Hi, Fred says, great live chat. Thanks, Southern Relics. No problem, guys. I'm here to try to help, and I've got a lot of help myself in Sharpshooter and Calabash. Michael Coley's a big contributor, even though Michael posts periodically on here, but he's an awesome guy, and he helps me sort of sort through some of these things as well. Yeah, I know. Hi, Fred. I got you, buddy. You're retired. I'm not. I'm not retired. Yes, thank you, Bells, so much. Yeah, thank you, CZ Kid. All right, we're getting ready to sign off, guys. Again, one more time, be patient. It's coming. They're going to get, if you were having problems with this update, then XP is going to get this thing worked out. I know they will. I have full faith in XP, their engineers, their executive team, all these guys. They're going to get all this worked out. The testers they have are great, and they're gonna figure out what's going to need to be fixed. So again, be patient. They're going to get those things ironed out. If you're on 1.0 and you're loving it, stay with it. Keep using these new features because those are going to be the same features even when we get this new update, I think. So I don't think they're really going to change that much other than they're working on a couple of different settings. But it's going to be good. So just be patient with it. Stay positive. Use this update if you got it. If you went back to 0.71, then use the great machine that you've always known it to be and go out and hunt and find some great things and share those great things. Next time, maybe we're on here live. Tell us what you found. I'd love to hear those types of things too, for sure. But being a tester is tough. So yeah. So yeah, Ben, be careful what you wish for, because there's some people on here that would tell you that testing thing's not all what it's cut out to be in some cases. So yes, thank you, Detect Big Smile. I appreciate it. Yes. Yeah, Alabama Digger says invite us all to South Carolina with you. Well, right now I don't really have hardly any sites to hunt. And once it gets hot, I'm like you, Alabama Digger. I'm probably not going out in the woods. So, but check us out Friday night, Matt Howell, Gone Digging. We'll be here 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Matt is going to be an awesome guest. And I think you guys are going to love hearing his input and hearing what he's got to say. And next week, remember, we will be on Thursday night for those of you that are regulars on here. So Thursday night at 7:30, we will have Digging Dixie. She'll be on here with us. And so, yeah, it's going to be a great night. I appreciate all the donations, all the great comments tonight. This was a great show. I'm glad I came on live tonight because I loved hearing what you guys are seeing. And of course, I always love talking to XP products as well. So thank you guys so much. Take care. Check out my beach video, which is coming right after the live stream. I will have it up very shortly. And I'll catch you guys soon on the next adventure. Take care, guys. This was great. Appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great and fantastic night. We'll see you guys.